Did you know that a single shipwreck could change the destiny of an entire nation? This seemingly minor event in history had ripple effects that influenced politics, global trade, and culture. You've never heard of this story until now. So stop scrolling, because you're about to discover a hidden gem of history that will blow your mind. Welcome to Historical Hidden Gems, where we uncover the untold stories that shaped our world in ways you never imagined. In today's episode, we're diving into the incredible yet little-known story of the Dutch ship Batavia and its extraordinary fate. Buckle up, because this tale has it all: adventure, survival, betrayal, and one of the earliest examples of organized mutiny. The year was 1628, and the Dutch East India Company, arguably the world's first multinational corporation, was at the height of its power. Trade routes to the spice-rich East Indies were like veins pumping wealth into the Netherlands. But the journey wasn't for the faint-hearted. These voyages spanned thousands of miles across treacherous waters, taking months to complete. The Batavia set sail from Texel in the Netherlands, teeming with sailors, soldiers, and merchants. On board was also an illicit cargo. The flagship carried not just spices and goods, but a hidden treasure: a chest of silver coins destined to fund trade in the East Indies. This ship was monumental in its stature and importance, almost like a floating fortress representing Dutch dominance. However, from the start, this journey was fraught with ominous signs. The crew was a mixed bag, many of them inexperienced and others barely loyal to the Dutch East India Company. The Batavia's commander, Francisco Pelsaert, was a seasoned and capable leader, but it was his under-commander, Jeronimus Cornelis, who would prove to be a pivotal figure, for all the wrong reasons. Cornelis was not your average seafarer. He was a former apothecary who brought with him radical religious ideologies and a penchant for manipulation. Imagine stepping onto a ship, knowing you'll be confined for months, and realizing one of the key figures on board is a man with chilling ambitions. As the Batavia sailed farther from home, tensions among the crew and passengers heightened. Whispers of mutiny began circulating, but no one could have foreseen the tragedy that awaited them. The Batavia struck a reef off the coast of what is now Western Australia, shattering the mighty vessel and stranding the survivors in a barren, unfamiliar land. Out of the original 341 people on board, around 220 made it to shore. But their ordeal was just beginning. Surviving a shipwreck is one thing. Surviving the aftermath on an uninhabited coral atoll is quite another. With supplies dwindling and the mainland far out of reach, Pelsaert took the ship's longboat and a small crew on an audacious 1,000-mile journey to the nearest Dutch settlement in modern-day Indonesia. He hoped to return with a rescue fleet. What he left behind was a microcosm of human society grappling with desperation, scarcity, and the evil ambitions of Cornelis. Let's pause here for a moment to consider. What would you do in such a situation? Food is nearly gone, rescue is uncertain, and everyone is looking for a leader. For Cornelis, this moment appeared as the ultimate opportunity to seize power. With Pelsaert absent, Cornelis manipulated the survivors, convincing a faction to follow him. He orchestrated murders, planned conspiracies, and even decided who lived and who died, based on his own twisted version of morality. When Pelsaert returned months later with the rescue fleet, the scene he encountered was unimaginable. Nearly half the survivors had been murdered, and Cornelis's reign of terror had cemented his place as one of history's earliest documented psychopaths in the New World. Cornelis and his conspirators were tried and executed on the very atoll where the horror had unfolded. Yet, the story doesn't end there. The ripple effects of the Batavia shipwreck would permeate throughout history. For one, the wreck provided some of the earliest recorded contact between Europeans and Aboriginal Australians. The marooned survivors' interactions with native populations set a precedent, however small, for future encounters. Historians still debate how these relationships shaped colonial attitudes in the centuries to come. Additionally, the incident spotlighted the moral dilemmas and vulnerabilities faced by colonial empires. It is telling that an apocalyptic scenario unraveled within a system designed to promote wealth and power. The Batavia disaster thus became ingrained in Dutch maritime law, a cautionary tale of human frailty, greed, and resilience. Today, the Batavia has not been forgotten, at least by historians and maritime archaeologists. Its remains were discovered in the 1960s, and many artifacts, including that precious chest of silver coins, have been recovered and preserved. The wreck lies in shallow waters as a haunting monument to those who endured its tragic voyage. So, why does no one talk about this shipwreck? Maybe the story is overshadowed by other, more well-known tales of exploration and conquest. Or perhaps it's the haunting sense of vulnerability it reveals, not just of the crew and passengers, but of an entire empire navigating the chaotic, unpredictable world. But now, the Batavia is more than just a rusting wreck. It's a time capsule filled with lessons, ones that remind us that history is never as simple as it seems. Just beneath the surface lie layers of intrigue, human emotion, and the unexpected connections that shape the world we know today. Thank you for diving into this lesser-known corner of history with me. This has been Historical Hidden Gems, where the past isn't just a story, it's a discovery waiting to be made. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below if you want more stories like this. And remember, history isn't just what happened, it's why we are who we are. Stay curious, friends, and until next time.